¿No echas de menos a tu antigua familia?
No mucho. Me gusta más mi familia de ahora.
Oliver, welcome to the Awards Tour podcast.
Thank you.
So I just think this film, Sirāt, it has to be experienced. It can't be described. I tell people that all the time. I'm like, I don't want to don't even read anything about it. Just sit down and watch it. But I'm curious for you, it was in your mind for over a decade, for almost 12 years. And then you finally were able to make it happen now. I'm curious, over that time, what were the biggest changes that happened? And what about the story kind of stayed the same?
I mean, it's about the gesture of film, and I think it didn't change much. My creative process belonged to a kind of self-development process.
Mm.
So that changed in a way a little bit, but the gesture is the same. I
Wow.
wanted people, I wanted that the spectators die watching the film.
Mm.
No, I think Sirāt is shock therapy, because I think that before dying is important, to learn to do this, to do this more, and I'm happy. I'm happy that people are connecting, watching Sirāt. They are connecting to something deep inside themselves. They are looking inside, and at the same time, I'm quite surprised that people say, as you say, that the presentation, you say that, I don't remember what you say exactly, but you say that it's a film to feel.
Yeah, it has to be experienced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but I understand that you say this is not your fault, but don't you think we are doing something wrong that you say this about one film, but not about all the films?
I mean, I will say this.
It's
I
cinema
don't think there's a
about
lot
this.
of, yeah, cinema's about that.
It's
But
about catharsis.
yeah.
I mean, you go to a theater and you have an experience. You experiment a film with your body, and the images penetrates you, shakes you, and you are not the same after watching the film. That's why we love cinema. So, but we are on a time where we are having all these influences from television, from series. That, I mean, you can watch a film, no problem if you watch it on a plane or on a theater. It doesn't change. So I don't know. It's a bad sign. That I'm receiving
This feedback. Yeah, no, I get what you mean. It's
no.
sad. It's sad to think about it that way. But I would look at it in the other way, and maybe this is an American way of looking at it, but I look at it in, you are a singular filmmaker. Like, even if everybody else was reaching to this experiential level, the way you do it is still so unique. I stand by that as someone that watches 500 movies a year. I think that there is something to your process. And I think it starts from the beginning. Like, I don't even know how you would pick the location. Like, I'm curious how that even starts. Like, how these are going to be the backdrops of this, to your point.
I think first, my process creative is really visceral. As I say before, it's really something I need. I'm kidnapped by the film, I'm not going to the office, to make my film, to write my script. I really experiment the film first with my body. And secondly, I have a radical trust on images, on cinema, and on the sensitivity of spectators, And third thing, I think, I protect the images from myself. I think we are on a moment where filmmakers, we are putting too much weight into images, So the images are dead at the end, They are thirsty, they are tired, There are no images on cinema, on films. About locations, it's really important for me. I was living 12 years in Morocco, and so I really know the mountains, I know the desert, and I don't know. I like to feel the places, to feel them, and yes, I'm a kind of a yonky, of images, of places. Yeah. I'm like kidnapped by the images, by the places, in a way.
I dig that. One of the things I really love about the film, because it's nominated for Best International Feature at the Academy Awards, it's also nominated for Best Sound. And so many folks have made so much, and we're going to discuss about the EDM and the music and how that sound story is told. I am much more interested in how judicious you were with silence. For as much of where you go to in the film with these loud, and I wouldn't even say loud, like, you know, the feeling of the music and the rave like culture and all that, there's also moments where you are so particular about the silence. I'm curious if that was in the script, if that was something that you planned out through your shooting schedule. How did the silence sort of weave its way into the story?
That starts in the script writing process. I write with Santiago Fillol, an Argentinian filmmaker, and we try to write thinking on the specific cinematographical tools, the specific way that cinema evokes things, you know. So we go to the bone, you know. We come from a tradition of script writing that less pages of a script means more cinema. So when we are, for example, talking, the dialogues are like the cherry on the cake sometimes, you know, and we really like to express things through cinema, and silence. It's it's a powerful tool, you know, to evoke. So yes, Sirāt is a film with a lot of visual effects. It's a really complex shooting, really different locations. We had to sleep in tents most of the time.
Wow.
So, and we only had 7 weeks of shooting, so 35 days of shooting. So it's not a film that you can improvise. The Sirāt is the photocopy of the script. I mean, we really, obviously, fortunately, I mean, shooting in the desert, in the mountains, you have problems, you know, but these problems make your film better always, you know.
Ooh, can you tell me about one of those happy accidents that happened due to the location or the script or the environment?
I think Sirāt talks about it, about how lives gives you, taking from you. For example, we have this sequence of this father who, after all happened in the film, he has a kind of errancy. He's totally destroyed. His ego is in the bottom. So this is a sequence that he's like in the floor. It was a scene that we wanted to shoot with 4 shots for images. But finally, a storm came. It was amazing. I mean, the feeling, everybody on the team felt we have to shoot now, and that's a gift, you know, that life is giving us. So finally, this sequence, we just did it with 1 shot. We just see his body on the floor with all the storm. And it's interesting because the day after we keep shooting, 2 days after we keep shooting, and the third day we receive a call from the lab telling us, guys, the 2 last days you don't have any images. You have a problem with the lens. So, but it's like this, you know. Life is like this. You give. You have a gift. You have to give.
Yeah, you're getting it. It's a gift. Yeah, what you were given that gift, so they take something away.
Like
it's a balance.
and
yeah.
Being a filmmaker is just dealing with your frustration and with your faith and with you have to surrender. And more courageous you are, more gifts you're gonna have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I'll say, I know it took 12 years to make this one, and I can kind of understand why, because you probably have to get together with the most craziest producers because, okay, we're going to have a dog, we're going to have a kid, we're going to have pyrotechnics, we're going to be in a remote location, and we're going to be using, for the most part, non-professional actors. Like, you really just kept stacking more complicated things on more complicated things.
I like problems.
I mean, you really do. It's like, I don't want peace, I want problems.
It's because it's not your film. It's the film who wants to exist through you. So problems are good because it's when film will transcend you.
Yeah.
And always, I mean, I think most of filmmakers, we have this experience, in front of our images when you edit the film, you have this, uh, you feel that it had to be like this, that something that you thought it was an accident is a gift. We evoke this in the film. The film is about this,
Yeah.
how life take care of you, shaking you sometimes. Also, you have to know, Jacqueline, that I'm also producer, so
You're the crazy one too.
yeah. Who is more crazy, Jacqueline? The crazy one or the people that they follow the crazy?
Wow. See, this
They-
is
they-
that
My,
like
my
French,
producer,
Moroccan, Spanish in you getting all like turning it on me because I'm like, you're right. They're the crazier ones
my
probably.
producers are even more crazy than me. I mean,
Oh, I love it.
following
Well,
me.
keep doing the crazy, sir, because it is so brilliant. And again, I can't talk enough about like I was in Cannes and I saw this movie at like night because I did like the late showing of it. And I was like, I need to talk to people about this. And I'm on a bus ride and like nobody spoke. And I didn't speak enough French at that time to be able to explain what I had seen. But I love the idea that so much of what I was experiencing, in my head, you were at some rave in Morocco or wherever you were, and you like were dancing, having a moment, and then in the middle of it, you're like, I have to go home and write pages. So I'm curious if you could tell me what were some of your like personal rave experiences that got translated in the script. I'd love for you to talk about like, oh, when I was, 22 and here this happened or whatever, like something from you that came into that script and tell me the story.
At some point in the film, they are in the desert, they are lost, and they make a kind of ceremony and they start to dance.
Mm.
I can tell you that they were not acting. I think that all of the actors, they were connected to a kind of really personal and intimate wound.
Mm.
I'm studying also psychotherapy Gestalt, and what we understand is that the body has memories of traumas, your traumas, but also the transgenerational traumas, the traumas of your family.
Yeah.
And so a lot of time raving, going to this ceremony, to this ritual space that is a dance floor, my body were connecting me to these wounds.
Mm.
I think it was healthy for me to connect myself to these wounds, to dance these wounds.
Mm.
I've been crying a lot, dancing. And this film is really healthy for me because it allows me to connect me more with my fragility. Filmmakers, we are really idealistic. We are not connecting with us. We are like dreaming, living in a kind of imaginary province. So for me, this film was like connecting more with my real being.
Mm. I love that. And I'd have to ask this because at the time I think I last spoke to you, the film was really just sort of like getting out there and now people have seen it. I saw Charlie XCX was talking about it on a podcast the other day, and you've had like a lot of great feedback, I think, from some really talented filmmakers. But as you've been very, I think, upfront to say some of the inception point from this was the film Mad Max. Have you found out if anybody from that film has seen it? I'm just curious if you know whether or not either like,
I didn't think about it. I would like to. I mean, I'm a fan. I think Mad Max is an archetype, a universal archetype. That's what we connect because it's like in the present we have a memory of the future. We know how will be the future, and so that connects with our fears and our dreams also of a new world. I would like to know what they think about it. What is the name? I forgot the name of the filmmaker. George
George
Miller.
Miller.
Yeah,
Yeah,
great.
so George Miller. But then anybody, because I think they'd also be able to cry with you on what it's like to film in the desert. Because I don't know if you've read the book on the last one that they made. They made a whole
Ah,
book
yeah,
about how crazy. Yeah, it's
about
called
the shoot.
Mad. Yeah, about Fury Road
I
and
want
how
to.
hard it was to shoot in the desert because it was so difficult. So I think
Wow.
you can at least commiserate on shooting in the desert, if nothing else.
Yeah,
Um,
I think in a way also Sirāt it dialogues with these archetypes and being also really metaphysical and existentialist. Yes.
And then just visually stunning. But again, we can't get out of here without talking about your collaborator from the score, David. He's an incredible electronic artist as well. But I feel that every collaborator on every film is an intimate relationship. But with this film in particular, picking your musical compadre, like that person that you're going to be on, that feels like a marriage. Like if this doesn't work, this is all going to. How did you know he would be the right person? Did you hear a track and you're like, this is the guy, or did you have a conversation with him? When did you know?
I knew an album from him called Solin's Arc from 2014, and this album has the grain and the textures that I wanted. It's an album made on 16 millimeters, you know. So, I mean, I'm a musician in a way. He's a filmmaker in a way. So, like on the film, you don't know where the image stops and the sound or the music starts, you know. So we were working on a sculpture, you know. We were working with the more structural layer of sound on image, you know, using the same words, the texture, the grain, the color, the brilliance, the rhythm, you know, it's something that is really subtle, but is really important in order that at the end your film could be a beast, you know, something alive, like a feline, you know, and that's the thing, you know. Sirāt is really visceral. It's really you know, it has
It has bite to it. No, it has a bite to it. It has a texture to it. It has a texture to it. That's what I feel. It feels like a sandy, like how you feel when you come back from the beach. There's a little grit to you.
I hate this feeling when you have sand in the body and
Yeah, because you know you had a good time, right? All right, we have to get out of here, but I want to ask you these two last quick questions. The first one is, you've taken the film literally around the world, starting at Cannes, and now you've gone through all these other different places. I saw it at Cannes, and then I've talked to people that have seen it here. I think different audiences react to the shocking, and I don't want to spoil too much, but there are like literal moments in your movie that are arresting in a way that you just do not expect. Like literally, like you're like, how did we get here? Have you noticed a difference with, like, say, American audiences versus French, or if you took this to Morocco, like what has been the biggest difference you've seen and where you've taken it?
I think that what happened in Sirāt is something that happened in life, you know. I
Yeah.
mean, sometimes life didn't tell you, but it's testing you, as I say before. I mean, for example, in countries like Mexico or Japan, you know, there are cultures where death has a central position, you know, and I feel the film is felt on a good way. Also, Muslim countries or countries where tradition it's big, like Morocco, where I shot, or Turkey, you know, where there is Sufism. They also get a lot of the subtleties of the film, of this rite of passage that is Sirāt. And now, if I compare, I think that US spectators has, I think I'm enjoying more here in the US sharing the film because you don't have this pseudo moral, you know, like we have sometimes in Europe, you know. Here you like the show, you like the spectacular, you like the intensity, you like the emotions, you like the fever, you know. You like Dionysus, you know.
Yes. No, we very much like to go hard like that. I feel that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you like the risk too. I think American audience and all the industry, they know that people who made Sirāt took a lot of risk, you know, and also because the film dialogues with this cinema from the 70s in the United States, when, you know, this
Yeah,
cinema,
Grindhouse. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's intensity, you know, and this, you know, this feeling that these people were doing this film like if it was the last film they do in their lives, you know. So putting everything, jumping to the abyss, you know.
Love it. All right. Last question, real quick. You're about to go to the Oscars luncheon where you guys are going to have lunch with everybody nominated. There's a bunch of people that may be there, from Steven Spielberg to Brad Pitt. There's a lot of nominees. Is there anybody that you haven't gotten to talk to on this journey that you're excited to see That's one because this is like your class when you graduate from school. You're the class of the 90th and the 98th Academy Award. So like you all are kind of like brethren in this.
I mean, all of them, I'm meeting amazing people. I can't pick one name. I mean, you mentioned Brad Pitt. Why not Brad Pitt? I think I have a strong respect what he's doing also as a producer with Plan B.
Yeah.
And I met Jeremy, and I don't know. I'm enjoying a lot meeting good artisan people,
Yeah.
honest people. It's really fair play. I like it.
Mm.
I think you find colleagues. So yes, I'm learning a lot.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be great. Well, anyway, thank you so much again. Congratulations, and we'll see you there.
Also, Laya will be the sound engineer of the
Oh,
film.
he's gonna be there. Yes, of course, because he's nominated. Yes, I'll be able to say hi to him
The
as
sound.
well. Yes, both of y'all. So big congrats and
Thank you.
well deserved. I didn't call that one in Cannes, but I was safely to be like, yeah, that's a sound movie for sure. All right. Thank you, sir.
Take care.